KHOU 11 News at 6 starts now.
Tonight, the search for the person who set fire to a bar near the Museum District, causing it to explode. Hello, I'm Len Cannon. Bar 5015, now just a pile of debris after a blast leveled part of the building. Several businesses and homes nearby were also damaged. HFD says the fire was intentionally set. Now they're looking for an arsonist. Jason Miles at the scene off Alameda Road, where the cleanup continues more than 12 hours later.
I'm told the bar here only opened a couple of months ago after an extensive renovation. It was destroyed in an instant. A neighbor's surveillance camera caught the sound of the blast that did all of this damage.
I've never seen anything like this before.
Troy Williams owns the landmark Alfreda's Soul Food right next door to the bar and fears what might have happened if he'd shown up super early when he normally does.
Probably thrown up against the wall or dead or half dead or lost my hearing. So I'm really, really appreciative to God that I wasn't in that building this morning.
Houston Fire says the building blew up around 4:45 a.m., some 6 hours after the bar closed, awakening neighbors and breaking windows for blocks in every direction.
Glass all over my bedroom, my windows are shattered, pictures are knocked off the wall.
From the get-go, the ATF and FBI were both assisting HFD, and they confirmed late today that the fire and resulting explosion were intentional, and they're collecting all evidence necessary to pursue an arson case.
We're going to work with these other agencies and just go through the evidence very meticulously and make sure that we, give it a proper investigation.
People in the area who've come to know Bar 5015 and its owner hope they can recover.
To see this is just a heartbreak for not only him, but for this neighborhood.
A neighborhood rocked by an explosion that could have been much more devastating. I spoke briefly today to the owner of the bar, who was not yet willing to talk, other than to say this was unimaginable. Back to you.
Jason, thank you. Now to the next phase in reopening Texas. Starting today, restaurants in the state can expand to 75% capacity. Phase 3 of the reopening plan comes as COVID-19 cases are rising in Houston and hospitalizations hit record highs this week. That's why some restaurants, like the popular Breakfast Club in Midtown, are keeping their customer count well below that 75%. Their dining room just opened this week at 25% capacity. Most of their tables are outside.
It's a weight to have to carry the responsibility of yourself and for others. And then as the person who's responsible for my team, I have to make sure that they stay safe. And as a father of 3 children and a 70-plus-year-old mother, I have to make sure that I stay safe.
One UH expert in restaurant safety told us seating capacity should depend on how many tables restaurants can space apart at least 6 feet. Tonight, our Verify team is tackling your questions about reopening, questions about COVID surcharges at some businesses and some stores not allowing returns. Here's investigative reporter Cheryl Mercedes.
Don't be surprised if you see some added fees on your receipts these days. Someone wrote the Verify team, my hair salon added a sanitation fee on top of services. Can they do that? Yes, they can. According to the Texas Commerce Code and the Better Business Bureau, businesses can tack on surcharges or increase prices to make up for lost revenues. What about the return policy? Someone wrote in that they noticed some stores are not accepting clothing returns. Is that allowed? Yes, it is. Federal and state laws say that private businesses can set their own return and refund policies, and they can update them as they see fit. And lastly, what about cash? A lot of people have noticed some stores are not accepting cash right now. Is that legal? Yes, it is. The Federal Reserve says that businesses can choose whether or not to accept cash. That is up to them. Back to you.
Good info. If you have something you want us to check out, email verify@khou.com or reach out on Facebook or Twitter. More and more Texans say they cannot pay for food during this pandemic. It is one of the things revealed in a survey about the impact of COVID-19. Investigative reporter Jeremy Rogowski is tracking the latest trends in the Lone Star State.
For the third time in recent weeks, researchers at the University of Chicago surveyed people in 10 states, about 2,000 households in all. The goal? Arm decision makers with information to better fight the pandemic. In Texas, here are some takeaways. More than 2/3 of Texans say they've avoided restaurants and avoided crowded spaces. 90% of those surveyed say they've worn a mask. That's up from the 76% who answered yes back in late April. Next, the survey asks about money. More than half of Texans say they did not work this past week. And here's one that really stands out. Food. 31% of Texans say sometime in the past 30 days they could not pay for food. That's the second highest tally of all the 10 states surveyed. Finally, the survey asks about feelings. More than 2/3 of Texans answered yes to all of the following. They felt lonely, they felt depressed, they felt hopeless about the future. Researchers hope all this data collected will help carve the path ahead to combat the spread of COVID-19. Back to you.
Thanks, Jeremy. You can help others by donating to the KHOU 11 Stands Against Hunger food drive. Simply text KHOU meals to 41444 to donate to the Houston Food Bank. $1, just $1, provides 3 meals. Tonight, the University of Houston is suspending all voluntary workouts for student athletes. That's after 6 students tested positive for COVID-19. The school doing this out of an abundance of caution. The students have been placed in isolation. It comes nearly 2 weeks after student athletes were allowed to return. Remember, you can text the word FACTS to 713-526-1111. We'll then send you a link so you can track COVID-19 cases in our area as well as getting testing information. Here's a look at the other stories we are following tonight. Number 1, celebrities stepping in to help find a missing Texas soldier. Actress Selma Hayek posting on social media to help find Private First Class Vanessa Guillen, who was last seen in April at Fort Hood. Her family asked for help earlier this week. Now there's a $15,000 reward for any information that helps locate her. Number 2, an Austin man facing federal charges after he was arrested during the big march for George Floyd last week in downtown Houston. Investigators say police were trying to block protesters from getting on I-45, and that's when they say Travis Martin III tried to break through the line and rammed an officer with his shoulder. They say his actions led to other people attacking officers. 796 people were arrested for nonviolent crimes that day and had their charges dismissed earlier this week. And number 3, it's happened again. Vandals hit the Christopher Columbus statue in Bell Park, that's in the Museum District. This time they cut off the left hand of the statue. Yesterday, crews cleaned red paint off the statue, and the city of Houston is also planning to move the Spirit of Confederacy and Dick Dowling statues from city parks to reduce vandalism and provide better historical context. Those moves are scheduled next Friday on Juneteenth. Let's jump outside. Beautiful day as we check out Galveston. Man, that is special. Not too hot, doesn't feel like the sauna we're used to this time of year, David Paul. And heading to the beach right now would be perfect, wouldn't it?
It is not the sauna that we do normally get this time of the year, Len Cannon. You're right about that. You were showing the beach. This is Pirates Bay Water Park in Baytown. It's not open. I don't think they're open. I don't see anybody at the beach. But this is the first time I've seen them testing and working on the splash pad out there. And I've seen a few lifeguard-looking folks walking around out there. So things are gearing up at the water park. If you're going down to the actual beach, 86 on the beach, breezy, east-northeast wind 10 to 20, water temp 82. Be careful in the surf. The waves are still up. It's 90, but dew points are in the 50s, so it feels good out there. And Saturday looks gorgeous, 93, but low humidity continues. Len, I'll show you when the humidity is going to go back to Houston normals when I see you again in a few minutes.
Yeah, you know that's coming. Thanks, David. Healthcare workers are helping fight COVID-19 at work and with their musical talents, using their voices to stand with people through this pandemic. And no, you are not seeing double. This isn't another Watt brother, but we're hearing from an athlete hoping to be the J.J. Watt of rugby.
If you're watching what's going on in the world and you want to donate to a cause, there's a website to check out first. I'm Tiffany Craig, ftc.gov/charity. That's the Federal Trade Commission site with information about making safe donations, and it also has links to research-specific charities.
There's a global effort to help fight COVID-19 by scores of Houston musicians who also happen to be doctors and nurses. an effort that's already helped raise $5 million since its debut last month. Here's Sherman Chow.
You'll never have to hurt alone.
A lot of thought in it, and a lot of passion, and a lot of love.
That is clear from the sweeping shots of iconic worldwide landmarks to the rendition of this year's Oscar-nominated song by the famed Diane Warren. I Am Standing With You began as a small project to salute and help those fighting COVID-19. It was composer Sharon Farber's brainchild, but she needed a few musicians and reached out to the award-winning Texas Medical Center Orchestra and conductor Libby LaBelle.
You know, within 2 hours, she called me. She said, okay, I have 75 people who want to participate. And I said, but the arrangement is only for a small group. She's like, well, rearrange it.
The orchestra is made up of healthcare professionals doubly impacted by COVID-19.
You know, we had to cancel our season so abruptly, and so this came in exactly at the right moment.
Sharon sent out a simple vocal and a click track.
We each had to record our own video at home.
Each musician listened through a headphone as they recorded their own part. In the end, there were 170 performers from around the globe, including Reverend Michael Gott from Unity of Houston.
I'm standing with you.
And it could be a total mess, but I called the best engineer in town.
It was a Herculean effort to mix nearly 200 soundtracks
and make it look like and sound like they were in the room together.
Director Gev Mirin wanted something beyond a Zoom video.
What would it look like if you were out there, show going on around all those landmarks?
A scene stealer, 9-year-old Eden, Sharon's daughter.
With people that have the virus, I think it just warms their heart. I'm standing with you.
Standing with you and standing for Houston. Bye. Sherman Chow, KHOU 11 News.
Ah, Sherman, you are right. Feeling it right here. Head to KHOU.com to see the entire video, or if you'd like to donate. Hey, if you got outdoor plans this weekend, you are in luck. Going to be near picture perfect, at least for this time of year. These are folks and their dogs taking advantage at Johnny Steele Dog Park right there along Allen Parkway. David Paul, looking good.
It really is beautiful, low humidity. The pavement will get a little warm. Make sure the dogs are not walking on that pavement during the heat of the afternoon. Kima Boardwalk Live. It's beautiful. It's busy. A lot of folks are going to head down here for Friday night dinner. I see all the rides are going. Look at this thing. Up, up, up it goes. And also, look, sailboats out over the Galveston Bay area. Lots of wind out there. Good day for sailing if you're an experienced sailor. East-northeast breeze 10 to 20 on the coast during the weekend. You go to the beach, 86 in the air. Water temp's 82. It's beautiful down there. Be careful with the wave action, with the wind. Watch those little ones like a hawk. Saturday, 68 in the morning. Again, that's 6, 7, 8 degrees below normal. 87 by noon. High goes to 93, which is about normal. Low humidity. That keeps it feeling much more comfortable than it normally does here in the month of June. High today was 91. Normal high is 91, but the morning low was only 66. Almost chilly compared to the normal low of 73. Record low, you were asked, 55 degrees set on this day back in 1979. It's 90 outside right now, which sounds hot and humid, but it's not humid. Dew points are in the 50s. Hobby 56, Tomball 57, Pearland 56, which helps your body cool itself so much faster and easier. It's just easier to live when the humidity is low like this, when the temperatures are in the 90s. 50s feel invigorating, not quite April in Paris 40s, but far more comfortable than insta-sweat dew points in the 80s, which we will get close to by the end of next week. So enjoy this northeast flow. We're hot, but again, it's dry. Phoenix is 107. Rapid City, South Dakota is 87. Sault Ste. Marie's at 47. Houston hanging on to 90. And it feels good here because of that high pressure sitting right there. Clockwise flow giving us that northeast flow off the mainland United States. That's low humidity. Usually this time of year we've got a flow coming off the Gulf, which keeps it very humid. But that flow, the humidity stays low. And that allows temps tonight to drop into the 60s once again. For most inland areas, unusually cool, then highs in the upper 80s to near 90 by tomorrow afternoon and evening. I'm actually going to go for about 93 tomorrow. Tropics are quiet. That is good. I don't see anything on the horizon. Here's the extended 93 tomorrow, 95 on Sunday, but again, low humidity for this time of the year. Now, watch the low temperatures next week, 72, 73, 74, 74, upper 70s. That's the humidity rising. The higher humidity, the warmer it is overnight. And so that tells you that our beautiful stretch of low humidity we've enjoyed will come to an end by the middle and latter part of next week. Len Cannon, it's nice though this weekend. Get out and take a long walk.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's also Friday and time to celebrate. Let's kick this party off with birthday wishes for little Micaiah Randall, who is turning 6. Happy birthday to you. Also, happy birthday to Braden. He's right behind you. He's 5, looking all grown up. And congrats to Kaylin, a graduate from Stephen F. Austin High School in Fort Bend. She is heading to the University of Houston. Go Cougs. And check this out. She's not only a graduate, today is also her birthday. Say double celebration for her. We hope your day is special. We'll be right back. J.J. Watt is one of Houston's most beloved athletes and a superstar for the Texans. But there's another athlete hoping to do the same when it comes to rugby. Here's Matt Musil with more.
He'd like to be the J.J. Watt of professional rugby.
Hopefully, yes, I do.
His name is Bronson Tellis of Richmond, and although he's a few inches shorter than Watt, this recent University of Arizona graduate cuts a similar figure on the playing field.
He's got a lot of great physical attributes, as he said, definitely passes the eye test.
SaberCats assistant coach Paul Emmerich knows Tellis well, having coached him for 2 years in the Collegiate All-Americans competition.
I know his rugby IQ, and he's a smart ball player as well.
Tellis's parents are from South Africa, and his dad played rugby there. So in spite of growing up in a football hotbed like Houston, his first sports love has always been rugby.
When I was 8, I was playing with the U9s, and then that's where I started.
Tellis played multiple sports at Foster High School, including football. And back to his role model, J.J. Watt, do you recognize his pass rushing form?
Yeah, I played defensive end all throughout. J.J. Watt's definitely a big inspiration for me, and he's huge, and he's such a good role model and ambassador, especially for Houston Texans. He's always done big things, but you know, I've always kind of tried to model, his character, however, just in a rugby sense. I'm a guy, I'm gonna give, the program I'm involved in, the people I'm with, my 100%.
Now, in Saturday's first ever Major League Rugby draft, Tellis is expected to go early in the first round. But it's possible he could wind up playing here for his hometown team.
Although we don't have any draft picks this round, but we're looking and strategizing on some trades that happen afterwards, and there's plenty of the summer left over to try and jockey and make all that happen. But he'll come into this draft, and whatever team he gets picked or ends up on, he'll make an impact for sure.
And if that impact is with the SaberCats, it's even better for all parties concerned. Matt Musil, KHOU 11 Sports.
We wish him well in the draft. David has one more check of the forecast next.
It will be in the 90s, but the humidity will stay low this weekend. It's an unusually dry, low humidity weekend for summertime. Get out and enjoy it. 68 tomorrow morning is below the normal. It should be in the 70s. And 93 Saturday, 95 Sunday. Humidity will begin to creep back up through the middle, and by the latter part of next week, we're back to Houston normal sweaty stuff. Len Cannon, back over to you.
This is going to be nice, David. Thank you. Well, we have made it through another week. Now it's time to step back, hit the pause button, relax, unwind with a moment of zen from Galveston. Hope to see you back here at 10.
Text APP to 713-526-1111.